I had been covering immigration for a long time, and I knew that I would occasionally come across children who were here without their parents and were working. And I started to wonder if this was a larger phenomenon. I initially thought I might find children working restaurant jobs or working in agriculture. I had no idea that they were working these kinds of dangerous, grueling, overnight jobs. I found these little girls who were making cereal every night.
Just the idea that they're just sitting in class during the day and then having to get to these factories at night.
A lot of this reporting was done in factory parking lots. I would go to the midnight shift change or the 5 a.m. shift change. A lot of the children were scared. They didn't know if I was law enforcement. They didn't know if they would get in trouble for talking with me. And in some cases, they were scared of their American sponsors. Sometimes the people they were living with were more like traffickers.
I think Hannah really puts people at the center of her work. She is always thinking about how to tell the stories with empathy and sensitivity.
We found children working these dangerous jobs in all 50 states. We found children who were making Cheerios, Gerber baby food. They're working on car parts for Ford and GM. I talked to children who were working on rooftops, children who were working in slaughterhouses. I talked to one child, Marcos, who was working the night shift as a middle schooler at a Purdue slaughterhouse. And one night he was cleaning a deboning machine. Somebody else in the factory didn't see him and turned it on and shredded his arm down to the bone. I talked to another child who had been working in roofing and fell 3 stories. He now is severely brain damaged.
I was shocked, but not maybe surprised, by how many kids were dying. I thought that that was such a moral wrong being done to these children that it kind of drove a lot of our thinking about the story.
The New York Times published a stunning expose shining light.
The reporting that Hannah provided was such a critical tool. It is far too easy for people's eyes to glaze over when they hear abstract statistics. It is less easy for them to look away when they hear names.
I was surprised to see how quickly there was reaction from the government, from companies.
The first story ran on a Saturday, and on Monday, the Biden administration launched a task force specifically to take on migrant child labor. The Department of Labor started going out and looking for these kids and imposing massive fines. Health and Human Services started really putting resources toward helping these children.
The series changed the accountability for companies due to increased enforcement from the administration side, as well as increased consumer pressure, but also, and importantly, increased pressure internally to companies. And that's been very, very crucial and directly came out of Hannah's reporting.
In Congress, we saw more than 15 bill introductions.
Providing the hard, concrete facts that we need to drive the necessary policy change is essential.
Help really poured in for every child that we talked about in this reporting. Some of them received tens of thousands of dollars from readers through GoFundMe campaigns. I've never seen anything like this kind of reaction to anything I've written. It really affirmed my faith in readers and showed me that people do care. We've seen huge positive changes for children in this country, but a lot of migrant children are still crossing the border. So this is an ongoing issue. The story isn't over.